And our special guest today is Jeremy Lin on the Coach's Corner. Jeremy, first of all, welcome to Charlotte.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What was the big selling point? I know you had some other opportunities out there, but what was it that sold you on coming to Charlotte? I know you've probably been asked that a zillion times.
There actually weren't as many options as we initially thought there was going to be, but the thing that really stuck out about Charlotte was the fact that really honestly it was just Coach Clifford and Coach Silas and how much they knew the game, cared about the game, what they were trying to do, the direction they were trying to go in, how they saw me and what they felt like I could do for this team. Having conversations with Coach Clifford, he knew my game so well, and he had never even spoken to me on the phone before or anything. That to me was already a sign that like he really knew how to use me and was thinking about the best way to give me the best chances to succeed. And that's pretty much the biggest thing I was looking for going into free agency.
Your last game you played in this arena, you had a great game. You had the Charlotte fans sweating that that pretty much you were unstoppable though. So, what are your feelings now? Do you have some good memories? You looking forward to coming back and playing in this arena?
Yeah, looking forward to coming back here and playing. I remember I was having some friendly dialogue with some of the fans during that game, and it was funny. I do remember that one, and definitely looking forward to coming back here. Hopefully us as a team can bring some excitement and get back into the playoffs and start with that.
Talk a little bit too. You're getting right to probably the prime time of your career. What do you still want to accomplish? What do you have ahead of you still out there?
I have a lot more that I want to accomplish, much more, and I think I don't think I've shown everyone on a consistent basis who I can be as a player, and I think that's probably the first step in terms of basketball. And there's other goals. You want to win a championship or you want to be an all-star and whatever, but for me right now, short-term goals is finding a way to be the player that I feel like I can be every night on the court for the right team.
This team has made a lot of changes during the off-season and all. How do you feel about what your role will be with this team, and how do you feel like this team can be next year?
Yeah, I think that's one thing is, a lot of coaches, they might say, oh, we want to play faster or whatever, and you can't, the only way to really evaluate whether that's true or not is to look at what they've done to either enhance that or not. And so you look at this team, they've created a lot of shooting, they've created a lot of spacing to be able to space the floor, and the one thing they're really missing is just somebody to be dynamic and to be able to get in the paint. And they do have Kemba, but just me being able to help him with that process and him being able to help me and just to be able to play tandem basketball and to be able to help us work alongside each other, it's going to be really, I feel like it's going to be really exciting. And then we always have Big Al underneath that we can always go to and will go to consistently. And so, I think that the things they've done in terms of the players have been huge. I think Nick Batum is a huge pickup as well.
Being a former coach, you're hard to defend. I can tell you right there, because you've got a lot of good strong points. You can knock down the three, you can take it to the basket. Do you think that you have a main strong point, or do you think that both of them are fairly even?
My bread and butter will always be attacking the rim, but that doesn't mean I can't shore up other things. If you look at, for example, shooting, just guys now are running me off the line versus when I first got in the league, it was like, oh, just let him shoot. And so being able to shore up other areas and make them, not necessarily my main strength, but one of my strengths, I think is very helpful in making me harder to guard.
Summer is still July right now, but you're having to move from California to God's country right now. Talk a little bit about your summer, what you've got still ahead of you as far as moving, and what you plan on working on with your game the rest of the summer.
Yeah, definitely. The busiest part of the summer is over, which was the Asia trip that I had in free agency. The most stressful part is over as well. And now it's going to be a lot of just focusing on really how I can fit into this team and the actions that I need to start working on and thinking through. In terms of my game, the things I wanted to work on this summer is one, my posture in terms of being able to run and with less arch in my back to be able to be more efficient, protect my body more, and then I think improving my three-point shooting, working on a floater, and working on a lot of different types of pick and roll defense. I think those are probably my four biggest components.
caught you off guard with this question earlier there. If you could tell the Charlotte fans anything, the most important thing you wanted them to know about you.
Oh, I didn't know it was the most important thing. I thought it was anything. I guess the most important thing is just my faith. That kind of defines who I am and why I try to be who I am, I guess. But the one thing that people have been kind of asking me online that I haven't fully addressed is my current hair and how ridiculous it looks right now. And this is the midway point to another hairstyle, but it takes time. And so right now I just have to go with it and just have a mini afro, high top fade, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it is.
I personally like your hair since I don't have
Thank
any.
you.
So
Thank you. I think it looks ridiculous, but I appreciate it.
Like I said, with a man without hair, it looks good right there. Talk a little bit about your faith. I know you mentioned that in the interview earlier there, but how important your faith has been to you throughout your career?
Yeah, I've been through a lot in terms of my career, and there have been a lot of situations where things looked very bleak, and this is dating back to when I was a little kid. I didn't know if I was going to play in high school. I really never thought I was going to make it to college, and there's not in my wildest dreams that I think I would be sitting here playing, entering my 6th year in the NBA. And so a lot of points in my journey, just God has really done a lot of miraculous things and really taught me and shown me about life, I guess, and not to get too deep, but just really what is purpose and what is real success and different things like that.
And I think you'd mentioned too, I read on one of your tweets that you felt like it was God's will for you to be here in Charlotte.
Yes, absolutely. It's just been a theme of mine in terms of pretty much what I envision happening never really happens. But when I look back, it's always, I realize, man, there was an even bigger or better plan that I didn't see in the beginning. And many, many instances where, unexpected stuff happened, and this is another example of that.
Well, I'm excited to see you in Charlotte. You had me on pins and needles last year, here, though. But it's good to see you and have you playing for the good guys this year, though. Jeremy Lin has been our special guest on the Coach's Corner, though. Excited. Look forward to seeing you play this coming winter and fall.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.